Hello everyone. This video presents a notable event that happened on each day from the past week in history. On August 18th, 1940, an air battle was fought between the British RAF and the German Luftwaffe, the largest air battle in history to that point as part of the Battle of Britain, July 10th through October 31st, 1940. German planners knew they had to defeat British air defenses in order to defeat Britain, and the best way to make that happen was to destroy the RAF Fighter Command. Despite September 15, 1940 being known as the Battle of Britain Day, the purported climax of the Battle of Britain, it was the hardest day that saw the most aerial losses on both sides. The exhausted British flyers lost 30 fighter planes shot down and another 29 planes destroyed on the ground, while the Luftwaffe lost about 70 planes destroyed and another 31 damaged. Only 10 British airmen died, while 94 German aircrew were killed. On August 19, 1991, leader of the USSR, Mikhail Gorbachev, was placed under arrest while on vacation in Foros, Ukraine. This first step in the action called the August coup was the first step that resulted in the dissolution of the largest country in the world. The USSR was formed in 1922 from the Russian Empire that disintegrated during World War I and included much of the old empire plus new territory to create a giant communist country consisting of a federation of 15 national republics. The Western democracies had an uneasy relationship with the USSR up to World War II, when circumstances saw the capitalist nations ally with the communist USSR against the Axis alliance. After World War II, a Cold War developed competition between both blocs until the USSR became crushed under the weight of military expenses. On August 20th, 1995, a horrific rail accident occurred on India's Northern Railway. Known as the Firozabad Rail Collision, a train carrying 2,200 sleeping passengers ran into another train that stopped after hitting a giant Nagal antelope. Officially, 358 people died, although the count may have been higher. There have been far worse rail accidents, including the Bihar train disaster in India of 1981, in which 500 to 800 people died, the 1917 Sarajevo rail disaster in Romania, which cost over 700 lives, and another 1917 disaster, the Maurienne derailment in France, when 800 to 1,000 soldiers on their way to a much-needed leave were killed. In the U.S., the worst rail accident occurred in 1918, the Malbone Street wreck in Brooklyn. On August 21, 1791, a voodoo ceremony at Bois Cayman, Haiti, was the scene of the first major assembly of African slaves in Haiti, an event that led to the slave rebellion known as the Haitian Revolution. White European colonial slave owners viewed the voodoo ceremonies as harmless exercise of the slave religion, making such rituals the only opportunity for large numbers of slaves to meet. Duddy Bookman, a voodoo priest and slave looked up to by other slaves, was named by a mysterious woman who appeared during the ceremony as the supreme chief that would lead the slaves in a rebellion to freedom. Bookman would die in November of 1791, missing out on the eventual victory of the Haitian slaves that would not come until 1804, when the rebellion resulted in an independent Haiti ruled by former slaves, the only successful slave revolt in history. Have you ever been to Haiti or know any Haitians? On August 22, 2006, Russian mathematician Grigory Perelman was awarded the Fields Medal for creating the proof of the Poincare conjecture, but then he refused the award, explaining that he is not interested in money or fame and does not want to be on display like an animal in a zoo. Some other people that have refused awards include 3 people who have refused their Oscar statuettes, including Dudley Nichols in 1936, George Scott in 1970, and Marlon Brando in 1973. Jean-Paul Sartre turned down the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1964, as he previously refused France's Legion of Honor. Le Duc Tao spurned the Nobel Peace Prize in 1973 because peace in Vietnam had not been reached. Rocker David Bowie refused both the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire in 2000 and a knighthood in 2003. Do you admire people that turn down awards? On August 23, 1898, a new age of exploration began when the Southern Cross expedition set sail for Antarctica in the aptly named ship Southern Cross. Thus began the heroic age of Antarctic exploration, a British venture exploring the southernmost part of the Earth, an era that ended in 1922. Inspired by previous Antarctic explorers, Norwegian-born Karsten Borchgrevink first gazed upon Antarctica from the deck of a whaling ship, prompting his desire for further exploration. Karsten pursued financing in Britain and succeeded in organizing the expedition with the Southern Cross, the first such visit to Antarctica that would see its members spend the entire winter at the bottom of the world. The expedition lasted until 1900 and provided new information and spurring new expeditions. Would you be willing to visit Antarctica? On August 24, 1998, science fiction and conspiracy theory met science fact when the first successful human implant of a radio tracker was tested in the UK. Called Radio Frequency Identification, or RFID, the device consists of a miniaturized radio transponder that, when interrogated by a RFID reader, sends identifying information to that reader, usually a coded number that is interpreted as whatever identity of person is assigned to the implant. Far from the conspiracy theory systems that allow satellites to observe and report on the location and movement of people with implants, for the device to work, the reader must be quite close to the person with implant in order to identify the device within several meters. Another form of implant that is passive and does not require a battery of its own can be read by an RFID reader from up to hundreds of meters away. As a question for my students and subscribers, which event from this past week in history would you most like to learn more about? Please let me know in the comment section below this video. If you liked this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History in Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated. For image, audio, and other credits and attributions for components of the individual videos in this compilation, please see the descriptions of their respective videos, which are linked to in this video's description.